Michael, how are we?
We are Marshall.
We are?
I love using that. I thought about you this morning. First
You did?
thing. Yeah, first thing when I woke up this morning. Yep. It was raining, and I said to myself, I really hope Pat is not walking to work. Every time it rains in the morning, I always just think about you walking to work because it always rains when you're going.
It happens. It happens. But I like to think that God has a sense of humor. That's all. So
I think he does
makes me
too.
laugh.
Look at the
makes me laugh
platypus.
thinking about that. But no, actually, it didn't rain on the walk to work today. I got in before the heavy stuff came down.
Which has been all day. Apparently, there's some big tornadoes down in southern part of the state. Supposedly.
How far?
Springfield.
Okay. Ooh, that's not southern. That's middle.
That's middle.
I would say Springfield is middle. Yeah.
Right
Because
now,
Carbondale is like another 3 hours. Carbondale's like a 6-hour drive. If you're going to Southern Illinois University, it's like a 6-hour drive.
yeah.
Illinois is a long ass state.
Isn't Paducah like the last town on the map?
No idea, but that's a funny name.
Paducah.
Have you ever heard the theory that tornadoes can never happen in like downtown Chicago because of the way that the buildings are structured?
Yes.
That a vortex can't necessarily like catch on.
Uh-huh.
Do you think there's any truth to that?
I would think so, but I also know of people who did live outside of the downtown area, downtown proper. You know,
I'm not talking about
you're talking like the Loop.
I'm not talking Oswego, Joliet.
Right.
No, I'm talking. No, that doesn't. You're not part of Chicago. Stop it. Get out of here. You're further than Naperville. You have no chance.
We're talking about a tornado at the corner of Halstead and LaSalle.
Yeah, exactly. Right there, Clark and Division.
North Michigan and East Wacker. Were those?
Actually, my dad would kill me because Clark and Division. I don't. Actually, no, they do intersect. I lied. Clark does go in an angle. Sorry.
Does Halstead and LaSalle? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. They run parallel to each other. Anyway, I think there is some validity to that. I think if there are tornadoes that brew, I think it's over the lake. Because I think there's been like those water spouts that you can see from the city.
Water
but
spout?
I don't. Yeah, but like that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't have the room to develop a vortex in between buildings, but it'll do it in the next closest area, which would be over the lake.
So the last one was in like 1847 that hit the city. Yeah, but also you don't have that big of buildings in 1847. True. I feel like
you don't have much of nothing in 1847.
Nothing. Exactly. The Civil War hasn't even happened yet.
Right?
Good God.
People are still shitting in the street, you know? Like, you throw dead bodies down in the dead body pile, you know, exactly. At the end of the road.
God. I think there is a little truth to it where maybe, like, the tiny ones can't start. I think, like, if a tornado is already rolling, it can go through the city. But to actually, like, start in the loop, I think that would be an anomaly.
Yeah, I wonder if it could
roll.
I wonder if it could roll through the city. I wonder if it would dissipate.
I'm sure if you had a solid E5 heading southbound on 90, I'm sure Ohio Street would have no chance, man.
Skipping the tolls, not using their blinker, you know.
Yeah, especially like you already have some shit underneath construction. It's not set up for tornadoes, let alone, you know, those strong winds.
Yeah. Yeah, 1855. Shit. We were still exploring the West in 1855.
Oh yeah.
I think most of Washington D.C. was still a swamp in 1855.
Was it really?
Yeah. What was it? The Jefferson Memorial. There's a picture of it from the 1800s, and it's like fucking swampland.
Huh.
Yeah, like it looks gross. Like you need to wear boots.
Why would they build there then?
I don't know. Probably got something to do with like the river, you know, like the Potomac being right there, or like the waterways or something.
Oh wow, we got California in 1848. So we already hit the whole other side by the time Chicago got hit with that nader.
You know what's really funny to think about though, that people in California probably heard about it like 4 months later.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my cousin in Chicago. I should write him. You think he's
gonna write him?
Shit, he's
and
probably
then he gets that 6 months later,
right? Oh yeah, that's old news, man. When was the Pony Express around? Like it was probably about the same time, right?
What's the
1860? It's a mail service. So the guys on horseback would take mail from Sacramento to like St. Louis.
Okay.
Something like that. And they
that
were
would
like
be such a fun job. You're the original postman? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. What is it?
It only lasted 19 months.
There's you know that the word news is actually an acronym?
North, south, east, west.
Notable events, weather, and sports.
Ah.
Yep. Wait, what did you say? Northeast, southwest?
I thought it was the directions, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good one. But yeah, notable events, weather, and sports. So yeah, people would ride their horses like super fast across basically.
So even then they cared
country.
about sports, huh? Even way back then?
Well, I had posted something because I wanted to kind of settle this, right? Kind of like a once and for all thing. Because we were getting made fun of for the World Cup about U.S. We won our first game 4-1, right? And everybody's like, how is this team winning when they call it soccer? You know, and we're getting shit on for it. We didn't name it soccer. It was the English that named it soccer.
I did not know that.
So in the 1800s, there was a split between what is now rugby and traditional football, or what we call soccer, right? And it all had to do about the use of hands, right?
Okay.
So the people who developed rugby were also playing soccer, but they said, we want to use our hands doing it. So they created their own team, which turned into rugby. The people at Oxford thought that using your hands were not right. So they called it association football.
Okay.
They wanted to shorten that to ASSOC, ASSOCC. And
terrible name.
I know, it's just a short for association football, right?
Horrible.
Well, then somewhere, I guess it was slang or popular at the time to call it
fucking soccer's over there.
Exactly. Yeah. So they popped a ER on it. So they were calling it a soccer, which was
hard R. They put the hard R in the socks.
They sure did. And then it made its way over to the U.S. in like the mid 1800s, about the time that what we know as football was taken off.
Okay.
So the Brits brought it over, called it soccer, right? We had our football, so we kept that football and we kept it as soccer.
You guys can't call it that. We already got one.
Mm-hmm. And then the British stopped using it. Like into the 1900s.
A bunch of hipsters. Of course, they're a bunch of hipsters. It wasn't cool anymore.
Yeah, they just stopped calling it soccer and went back to calling it football. And now they make fun of us for calling it soccer when it was their fault.
Wow.
So
let them do what they want.
Yeah, I wanted to put a kibosh on that. So it's not our fault.
It's okay.
Also, I learned we've been involved with the World Cup since 1930.
Well, that's good. We should be.
I just thought that we joined like 10 years ago.
No, we've always been a pretty athletic nation. Also, we have so many people. Like, you should be able to field 22 people that can play when you have millions. That's what baffles me about India and China. Like, how do you have over 1 billion people and can't find 22 that are athletic enough to compete with the rest of the world? Like, how is that? Like, by sheer numbers, you should be able to field a team.
They should. I think they do. I just don't think they're
They never make it. They never make it. Spain just tied with an island off of the coast of Africa, like Western Africa. They have a what?
Curacao?
Something.
Is that?
Regardless, they have a population of 600,000, and they were able to do it. Like, come on.
Cabo Verde.
That's
who it was.
That's a neighborhood in India. 600,000.
Right. Shit, that's a neighborhood in fucking Chicago.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's a street.
Right. I mean, I was pretty surprised that we did win. What was it, 4-1 against Paraguay?
We're in a pretty easy division. I think they're giving us home field niceness.
You know,
but also I have heard that this is the best U.S. team we've had in quite a long time. So
I mean, there are a lot of pragmatic and optimists, right, out there about the U.S.'s involvement with the World Cup. I like to take the more pessimistic conspiracy theory route, and I think it was rigged. I want to say it didn't feel like a real win. And even while I was watching it, I was kind of like, something feels off about this.
I don't know, Michael. I
didn't
watch it, but that's a big one to rig. That's a big one. And also, we are expected to get out of our little division.
Right.
Can I bring up something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can circle back. I'm sorry, it's completely off topic, but I've just been thinking about this with the Pony Inn. You said that it's you said it's what was it again?
The Pony Express.
The Pony Express. But what does news stand for?
News, notable events, weather, and sports.
That weather part had to have been just so wrong all the time. How on earth were you predicting the weather in 1860? How? Where do you even start?
Right? Hey, I gotta run to San Francisco. What should we tell them about the weather? Well, it looks good now.
given a 5-day forecast in 1860.
I was tracking the weather on my ride here, and it rained, and then it didn't, and then there was a tornado, and then there wasn't. We're just kind of like guessing,
just completely guessing.
I wonder if that's where like all those like old wives' tales come from about the weather. I can feel it in my bones, you know.
Sometimes, maybe that's what they did. They had the animals because they say when cows or dogs start eating grass, there's a storm coming. So maybe the weather people back then just had a bunch of different animals that they were able to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Letting the cows out.
Betsy's eating grass again. Ring the alarm. It's coming right for us.
It's coming right for us. Get the gun.
Damn it.
I mean, I know Trump got made fun of for wanting to nuke a hurricane, right? But I think back in the 1800s, if you were to like take a shot at a tornado, like let's just see what happens, you know? I mean, I'm guessing that was in the possibilities. Like, how do we stop this thing? I don't know. Shoot it.
You can make fun of Trump for that, but what people don't know is Operation Starfish Prime, where we were just shooting nukes into the Van Allen belt just to see what would happen. We were shooting nukes in our protective radiation core that could have easily fucked everything up. The grid went out in Hawaii because it messed things up so bad. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I had no idea.
Blow up the atmosphere. Yeah, we were trying to blow up the atmosphere. just for shits and gigs, just to see what would happen. We actually did it.
You know, I shit on the internet a lot, but sometimes distracting us, you know, keeps us from doing shit like that.
Yeah, seriously.
It's funny, if you Google Starfish, Operation Starfish Prime, the first YouTube video that pops up is titled, "We Nuked Space."
Yeah, dude. Like, literally. Just to see what would happen. And I'm pretty sure it made the radiation even higher.
Well, shit, Terry. I guess that just didn't work, did it? Not what I thought was going to happen.
What did you want to happen?
Right?
What was your end game?
I don't know, but it's gonna be pretty fucking cool to find out. You're a top scientist, and that's what you're thinking. It's gonna be cool to find out.
What was your end game?
Jesus, God, never said we were smart creatures.
Insane.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is another kind of funny point about the World Cup that I never really thought of, is that this is dogs' favorite time of year, because they get to watch us also being interested in kicking around and chasing the ball for 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. I mean,
best friend.
Do you think that there's a possibility of this being rigged?
I mean, there's always a possibility. I would like to hope that for certain things like this, the World Cup, the Olympics, like you can kind of just like put things aside, the politics aside,
sure,
for the sporting. Let's not bomb each other for the 3 hours we're playing against each other, and then we'll go right back to bombing, of course. But for this time, let's just enjoy the game together.
And then we'll go back to nuking the atmosphere.
Yeah, exactly. And then we'll blow this atmosphere up again. But also, I mean, the Russians did do a bunch of steroids, and they got kicked out of the Olympics. So
true. Yeah.
Can't have nice things,
Wouldn't be the first time it was fixed, which brings us to the topic today, the 1919 World Series fix.
Yeah, right in our own backyard.
Right? And did you, look into this at all? Did you, because I've heard about it, and there's a great Drunk History episode about this that I did watch, but it's a little bit more interesting than just, they were paid to throw the game.
Well, Michael, being a native Chicagoan here, this was one of those little bedtime stories we got occasionally, so we knew about it a little bit, but I never did a deep dive in it. But as the story goes, the White Sox, or the Black Sox, as they're called these days, over 100 years later, they threw the game because they were being underpaid by the owner, old man Comiskey. And there was also some gambling stuff that was going in there. It was a Jewish last name. It was like Rothschild or Rothburn.
Rothstein. Arnold Rothstein, who was
who
was connected to. He had ties to Capone. He had ties to what was his name? Bumpy Johnson, Nucky Johnson, something like that, out in Atlantic City, and the Commission in New York.
He's the one who some say mentored or Lucky Luciano looked up to. He is kind of the one who they give credit to taking the thuggish gangster and turning into more of an organized crime type of mentality.
Yeah, he was a degenerate gambler.
Bugsy Siegel was also one that he is linked to.
Mm-hmm. But it was interesting to me finding out that Shoeless Joe Jackson, when you think and talk about baseball, right? Shoeless Joe Jackson is, I would say, within the top 5 players that most people associate with baseball.
I always just thought it was because of his nickname. To be honest, I had no idea that he was on this team until about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and he took off his shoes to run because they didn't.
Is that why?
Yeah, but these are hilarious fucking names, and I wish we would go back to the Shoeless Joe Jackson, Chick Gandil, Swede Reisberg, Happy Felch, and Lefty Williams.
And Buck Weaver.
Right? That is 1900s nicknames. There's a hilarious Shane Gillis stand-up about baseball and how what's his name, Jackie Robinson, the day that he started playing in MLB was the day that we stopped talking all silly and kind of left the funny nicknames.
Well, shit.
And here comes Jackie Robinson. Oh, he hits it over the fence. God damn it, we suck. But
this isn't even that much money.
No, it was
So
like
they got-
$100,000, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I was trying to see how much 100 grand would be in today's time. You want to take a guess how much 100 grand in 1919? How much do you think that'd be today?
With inflation, I would say a little over $1 million.
Oh wow, good for you.
Maybe 1.5,
A little higher,
1.8,
just a tad bit.
1.85.
No, goddamn,
Oh,
1.9.
wrong direction. 1.9.
1.9.
Yeah.
1.925.
It's not even really like retirement money, honestly.
Not at all, dude. Are you kidding? Patrick Mahomes just signed a contract worth $500 million, and these people are getting paid under $2.
Right? It's like your average lottery ticket. You don't even like,
Fucking
Great, it'll be
practice
gone.
squad person makes more than that now.
right?
A college student makes more than that now. What am I talking about?
I know, right?
With the new college rules.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there was one thing that I thought was really funny about all of this. So like the whole conversation apparently started like Shoeless Joe Jackson overheard somebody talking about it. And then they kind of like brought it up as like a suggestion, like, well, we could fix it, like as a joke. Mm-hmm. And then they were kind of starting to think like, yeah, I think we should actually throw this. But the sign that the Black Sox were using that said we're going to indicate that, yes, we're going to throw this game was hitting the first batter. So I can't remember who the pitcher was. I want to say it was Lefty Williams was the pitcher.
He threw with his right hand.
Yeah, he would have. It's like calling a big guy tiny.
Yeah, that's what they did back then, man.
But yeah, he had to hit the first batter, and then that would show him. But so they like threw the first.
Hold on. Games. So it was always Lefty's call. Like, yeah, I want to throw this game.
Yeah, it was like Lefty, and then. So there was one guy who they didn't get involved. So like what? There's 10 people, I think, on a
9
starting lineup.
Oh, there's
9.
There's 9.
Yeah. So so one guy opted out, or they just didn't tell him, which I think is kind of hilarious.
Yeah, dude, right. That fucking loser.
Yeah, we're just not going to tell him about this.
Yeah,
you know?
Fuck that guy.
So they throw the first 2 games, and they're like bad throws too, like 4-1. I think one was like a 6-1 or 9-1 or something like that. And then one guy, I think the guy that was left out, said, "Guys, do you really want our legacy to be, losing the World Series?" And kind of had like a rah-rah speech.
It was Ray Schalk. He was the catcher. He played every game. He suspected his teammates were throwing the game, but they didn't tell him.
It's fishy around here.
Yeah.
Mayor, see, I think my teammates throw the game, see?
Oh, yeah. And then Eddie Collins, star second baseman who played cleanly, publicly expressed his frustration over his teammates' poor play.
It's just so funny that they chose to not tell some people.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, so they did like a rah-rah speech, and then they did end up winning like 2 or 3 games after that. But then it was like the night before the second last game or like the last game. I forget whose house they went into. I think it was Eddie. I don't know how to say his last name. Ciotti. Anyway, they go into his house and they said, if you don't throw this game, we're gonna kill your wife.
Jesus.
Yeah, and it was Arnold Rothstein and all of his cronies that told him to throw it. So of course he did.
Wow.
And the rest is kind of history. But then they ended up 2 years later? I think 21. They somebody like squealed on him. And they all like went in front of a grand jury or something like that.
I think someone like overheard that they threw it. Do you want to know what's funny? Now that I'm looking at the names of losers who didn't throw the World Series with them.
What's funny?
None of them have nicknames. All the guys that threw it have cool nicknames.
You know what? They didn't give me a cool fucking nickname. I got a whole diary at home of cool nicknames that I thought of myself.
That's how you. That's a clear divide right there.
What are they like? Real average names too, like Jim Smith.
You got Eddie Collins, Ray Schalk, Dickie Kerr was the most notable White Sox player who refused to participate. He was masterful on the mound, throwing a complete game in the 3-0 shutout in Game 3. So
See, that's a kind of a nickname, right?
Dickie? Hey, Richard. That's a pretty common. It's not Lefty or Shoeless Joe.
Right.
or Swede. Like, come on, that's got to be racist. You can't do that anymore. Just say, fucking Swede, get up there.
He was actually Cuban.
German.
Yeah. Do you think they like the guys that didn't get involved like sat around going like why didn't they ask us to be part of the fix? Like, do you guys not like us?
I'm sure they felt pretty good about themselves when they got banned and got in trouble.
True.
Did they serve any jail time?
I don't think so. I think, let's see, trial. All 8 players were acquitted in criminal court due to insufficient evidence, even though they like admitted to it. Like they did say that they were given money, but I guess there was insufficient evidence. Sounds pretty suspicious. Make sense. Well, I would think that. So you got 1921, right? About the time that another big event was happening, and some
Prohibition.
I think you were the one that found that, right?
What?
That this was the cause of prohibition?
This was people, yeah, because people started to riot so bad after the loss, fucking getting all hammered and shit, and started rioting and burning the city. We almost had the second burning of Chicago after that, and so after that they said no more,
no more booze,
no more booze. Look
Stop
what it
drinking
did.
Out of barrels.
Give it back.
So yeah, they were insufficient evidence. So what I was getting at is that I don't think it's too wild to think that maybe Rothstein had paid off some of the judges, right, or some of the lawyers, or somebody else to really cover the tracks, right?
I wouldn't be surprised. I
wouldn't be either.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, but they did report it, but nobody did jail time, and but they were banned from professional baseball. That was their, but they were at the end of the career anyway. I think that's why they did it.
And they got to keep the money.
Yep. So they all retired with $100,000 in their pocket.
Fucking win-win for everybody.
I would like to see a follow-up, like, you know, at the end of like the 90s movies about what happens to everybody after high school, you know? What happened to these 8 guys after they threw the game, you know? Shoeless Joe actually opened up a cobble shop.
Shoe store. Yeah.
Shoe store. He became a cobbler, you know?
He actually is the founder of Payless Shoes.
Right. Swede Reisberg went back to Cuba. Happy Felch actually, he became severely depressed afterwards. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's too crazy. I mean, when did Capone get big? That wasn't until much later, right?
No, that was right in the heyday. I mean, I was in the middle of the Roaring 20s, probably mid 20s or so.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
He ran the outfit from 25 to 31.
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, he was probably an up and comer, right? Because it was, I think, Joe Masseria was running it, or
I don't remember.
Oh, shit, who was the guy? I know this. There was somebody before him that was running Chicago before he took over, and I wouldn't be too surprised if because I mean, this whole thing was just around gambling, right? And that's kind of what put the smear on.
Yeah, but I think
baseball.
This was before Capone's time.
Yeah, it was. What I was kind of getting at is that with this being 1919, Capone coming to power in what did I say, 23? 25. That the guy running Chicago before Capone was maybe in on it, you know? Mm-hmm. What the fuck was that guy's name? It's going to drive me nuts.
Do you think there's been any other, any like big championship events like Super Bowls, Stanley Cups, whatever in our lifetime that's been thrown?
I don't know in our lifetime. I know that there was something about the Boston Celtics, or it was another mob connection in the 70s with either the Celtics or a college team.
What are you talking about?
What was it? There was something. I want to say it was the Celtics. It was another like event that I remember reading about. There was either, I can't remember. It was this college basketball or Boston Celtics. They were like throwing games under like mafia influence.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, Michael, we got to look more into this one. Chinese football scandals. The Chinese Football Association launched extensive investigations in systemic match fixing and gambling rings across the professional leagues from 2003 to 2009.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Huh. Did not. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a follow-up episode on that.
Yep. To be continued.
But I mean, I've only started hearing it maybe in the last couple of years that the NFL is scripted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there are some plays that happen where you're just like, come on. Like, there's no way. Like, someone who there's one famous play. It's the Saints versus I want to say the Giants. I don't remember. But it's to go to the Super Bowl, and the Saints were down, but they had all the momentum, and they were well on their way to score. And it may have been a 2-point conversion or a fourth down, but they hit this guy on a swing pass. So the running back came out of the backfield, did a little wheel route, going around, and Breeze hit him perfectly. Oh, well, actually, no. Breeze was going to hit him perfectly. The defender thought he was playing NFL blitz and took the guy out before the ball even got there. And it was clear as day. Like, if someone who doesn't even watch football could sit there and go, well, that's illegal.
Yeah.
And nothing was ever called. Saints end up losing. Don't go to the Super Bowl. That one seemed oddly fishy. That's one of those things where, like, that wasn't even a questionable call. That was clear as day.
Yeah. I mean,
there's also the NBA ref that got caught throwing games. I forgot about him.
Well, I remember the big one
on that guy.
When we were growing up, the coin toss for the Lions.
Ooh.
In Super Bowl?
Not the Super Bowl. No, you guys never made it to this. Michael, the Lions have never made it to the Super Bowl.
You act surprised that I don't know that. I don't watch NFL.
I know, but in our lifetime at least.
Yeah, no, I even if they did, it would probably go right past me. And I would be like, oh, I guess it happened.
Yeah. Suck it, Luke.
It was Thanksgiving coin toss, 98.
Yes.
That's what it was. And
where he said heads and it was clearly, and he's like, it was tails.
Uh-huh.
And then just walked away.
And then they made fun of it in that movie, fucking Rat Race. It's Cuba Gooding Jr. He loses his job, and then he goes to Vegas, and then he gets into a taxi cab. The cab driver leaves him out in the middle of the desert. He's like, you know how much money I lost because of you? I mean, I don't know if that's like a scripted thing, right, or if it's fixed. But, yeah, I remember that one, at least from our lifetime, about that. Yeah. Oh, and then, obviously, all the Pete Rose shit. But I don't know if that's rigging necessarily.
He never bet against his team, which, if you're going to bet, that's the way to do it.
He never bet against his team?
He always bet on his team? He always bet if he did. I believe if he did bet, it would be for his. If he did bet on his team, it was always for his team to win. He never bet for his team to lose.
Didn't they kick him out of the Hall of Fame for that or something?
He is. I think he's finally now in the Hall of Fame, and he's been dead for quite a while.
Yeah,
but he was. I think he was. I think he was banned for a while, but then, he was just. They never got the votes.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah, I've never really knew what was going on there. But then what? Sammy Sosa using the cork bat?
That was just steroids. That's different. That's just steroids.
Well, didn't he use a cork bat or something like that?
Yeah, but they were all doing that.
True. Yeah. I mean, what a time to be into baseball, right? Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire, right?
Yeah.
Setting like the standard, like breaking all these home run records, doing all this crazy shit, and then like 2 years later, it's like, yeah, they're just fucking taking steroids. Nuts.
We all knew it though. But come on.
It's got to be kind of like when you find out Freddie Mercury was gay, you know? Like you kind of know.
Obvious. Yeah. You're telling me the lead singer of Queen is gay,
right? Or Judas Priest, Rob Halford.
Yeah. started David Bowie being bi, like duh. Come on.
I'm pretty sure that was a rumor. I don't think David Bowie was actually bisexual.
I'm pretty darn sure.
Let's see. We're gonna. Let's see here. Let's see. He was in an interview.
Michael.
You've been asked the question whether you're
Michael. He was in a room with Freddie Mercury for 3 days with nothing but cocaine and wine.
Well, that solves it right there.
And they came out the song called "Under Pressure." Come on.
You're telling me that they didn't do some butt touching?
Yeah, at least some 69 and come on.
I think everybody's getting enough cocaine.
Yeah, dude, there's at least a reach around or two.
You do enough cocaine and everybody turns gay a little bit, just a little bit, you know.
Come this far,
right? Might as well. I mean, is the cocaine still free or what? Yeah, but I always thought that was funny about people finding out that Rob Halford was gay, of Judas Priest, and then they look at the posters like, oh yeah, he is wearing all leather and a collar. And that kind of makes sense. That tracks.
All the signs right there.
Yeah. Now, what I was disappointed about was the enhanced games when we were watching that.
Sucked.
That did suck. They had a whole game about using steroids and like basically rigging it, right? And they still weren't beating the non-enhanced world records.
Yeah, that was pretty frustrating. I was I kind of get it with swimming in particular or running because I don't know if, well, I guess it also depends on what kind of steroids you're taking or whatnot, but more muscle doesn't necessarily mean faster. You know what I mean? Because you're going to have more weight to carry and more to move and stuff. But for the weightlifting events, I figured like you have no reason not to blow some of these records just straight out of the water.
Right. And even that was like just kind of getting like right up to the world records.
Yeah. Yeah, it was extremely underwhelming.
I think the whole thing was an anti-drug campaign in disguise.
You tell that to their stock owners, man, because that shit dropped like 40% the day after. Like as soon as the market hit, just boom. Right?
Yeah, we're not ever investing in this shit ever again.
Tell that to the investors.
Right?
Unless you just see that meme of Kylo Ren for next year, just more steroids. More. Just pumping with more fucking roids.
Right? Just
like I thought I was gonna see some Bane motherfuckers walking out,
right?
You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be Bane versus who's the mountain man in Game of Thrones?
Yeah, Thorn Bjornsson.
Yeah.
Who was actually at those games.
Was he?
Yeah. And he holds the record, I think. I don't even know how to spell his name. Bjornsson, something like that. He was there, I want to say, at the enhanced games.
Like participating or watching?
He was participating, yeah. Let's see. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Hafthor. That's not a real letter. H-A-F, what looks like a B, but the tail keeps going. I don't even know what that's a made up letter. That's not real. He was at the enhanced games, but he's also 3-time champion of the Arnold Strongman Classic, 5-time champion of Europe's Strongest Man competition, 2018 champion of World's Strongest Man and 12-time champ of Iceland's Strongest Man. He holds the deadlift record at 510 kilograms, and he weighs 400 pounds.
What?
He's 6'9".
He's a Viking. Do you think he actually has like ancient giant blood in his body?
I think if there was ever a human trace of giants being real, he is who I'm pointing fingers at first.
Because like he doesn't even look like he has like giantism. You know what I mean? How like
right.
How Andre the Giant or
right.
the Giant, both of them.
Yeah, the pituitary gland thing. You know,
they got a hint of the tism. You know,
right? Yeah, hint of the tism,
but not him.
No, this guy is just like he's a real life Hulk.
Yeah, he's a Viking. He's a real Viking.
Yeah. Now I think he's a good Viking though. Like
he should have been Hiccup's dad in the
I know,
How to
right?
Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, which was a great live action reproduction, by the way, almost shot for shot.
You know why?
Fantastic.
Because they just did the same fucking movie. Finally, you didn't add any bullshit. You didn't have any hidden agenda or secret messages. You just did the movie.
Yeah, I remember watching it in theaters, and I had to like remind myself that this was live action. There was a couple
One
of
of
times
the highest, one of the highest grossing live action movies you did, and one of the most well liked ones.
Right?
Because you didn't fucking change the plot.
Why? Yeah, take the hint, Disney. Take the hint.
Are you gonna go see Toy Story 5?
I don't know. I'm kind of like feeling like Homer when he becomes Krusty and he beats the burglar. The kids are going, stop, he's already dead. You know, that's kind of how I feel about Toy Story.
I kind of think that's another analogy where I kind of think Toy Story is turning into the new Simpsons. Like, hey man, the old stuff, amazing. I'll watch that anytime, but this new shit, just not for me.
They're battling an iPad. Like, it's not even creative, you know?
No.
Like, at least you had that terrible Sarah McLachlan song, you know, about, what's her name?
Jessie.
Yeah, like that shit would break your heart, you know? That was a well thought out storyline, you know? And this is toys me iPad bad. You know, like it's not, in my opinion anyway, it's not really like good. I don't know. They're doing another Shrek movie too, Shrek 5.
Yeah. I mean, I would be more interested to see Shrek 5 than Toy Story, or than Toy Story 5, solely because of the way that Toy Story 4 ended. Like, Toy Story 4 was not good, in my opinion.
I don't even think I watched that one.
They go to a circus. Bo Peep comes back. Bo Peep's actually a badass. I will say that's the one redeeming quality of Toy Story 4. Yeah. But at the end of it, shocker, like, spoiler alert, Woody just up and leaves the gang. Just leaves them. He's like, no, I'm going to go rogue with Bo Peep, joining a carnival. You guys go. And so then he just leaves them. And so that's the biggest thing is like, hold on. You see Buzz and Woody getting along together like it's no big thing. You're like, Woody, you fucking left. You got a lot of explaining to do to everybody here, man.
You got some explaining to do.
Yeah. And so I'm curious how they're going to like fold that in where Woody comes back. But I just, Toy Story 4 was so off-putting to me where I don't even want to see where they do it this one.
Huh. You know that if you Google Toy Story 4, you get to play a claw machine game?
Really?
Yeah. And it's actually kind of entertaining.
Where do you get to do that?
I just Googled Toy Story 4 and I hit all.
Yeah.
And then and then I just kind of popped up and then it does this claw machine. Yeah, kind of cool, right? It's just
hold
like
on, where'd it go?
It's like
it just drops stuff.
Yeah, it takes shit off the page. Huh. Cool. I always appreciate Google for little stuff like that.
True.
Now, going back to sports, we could talk about Michael Jordan and his degenerate gambling.
Oh, dude. Yeah, but also an assassin. You want to hear a funny story about Michael Jordan and his gambling?
Hit me.
You know who Jeremy Roenick? You know who Jeremy Roenick is?
Hockey player?
Hockey player, a big player in Chicago around the same time that Michael Jordan was playing here.
Sure.
So the story goes that it was playoff time for Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan and Jeremy Roenick were golfing earlier that day. Or maybe it wasn't a playoff game. He had a game that night. Sorry. They were golfing the morning before the game, and obviously degenerate gambling huge stakes. Michael Jordan gets fucking taken to the house, and then he's so pissed he goes double or nothing on this round, and then he loses again, and they're drinking, they're smoking cigars, all the stuff that you do while you're golfing, having a good time. Michael Jordan's got to go play a game that night, and he fucking gets cleaned out from Jeremy Roenick, and then while leaving, Michael Jordan says, "I'll do double or nothing on that, but the bet is that I will score 45 points or more. I'll score more than 45 points tonight." And Roenick is like, "Absolutely, you've been fucking drinking all day. Like, no way you could have scored that much." He scored like 52 points that night.
No shit. I mean, what a time to be, somebody working at the clubhouse or the cart girl, in that scenario, watching Michael Jordan just getting furious playing golf.
Also, dude, great time to be a huge athlete or a huge celebrity because there's no cell phone, so no one's taking fucking pictures of you all the time. You can actually hide. You'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't there.
Right? Tiger Woods, take a hint. Stop drinking and driving every 5 years.
Damn it, Tiger.
Right?
Just get a driver, dude. You have so much money. Just get a driver.
Right. If you don't have money, you fucking Uber, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Hey, he's got I don't know. But apparently, I don't really know like the full story, right? But wasn't Michael Jordan's gambling addiction related to his father's death?
It's a theory. It's
a theory.
It's a theory that he owed. There's a theory that's A, why they killed his dad, and then B, why he had to retire the first time in between the 93-94 season or whatever, or 94-95 season. Because he owed some big money, and they killed his dad and cool things down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they told him to take a step back. Apparently.
I heard a really cool story. This one, I think, is probably my favorite. It's related to Brazil and the World Cup, right? Because all of this is coming out right now, and I'm learning a lot about the World Cup. But in Brazil, in 1994, just right before the World Cup, Brazil had this player who was playing for Spain at the time, Romario, right? This guy was like the new Pele. He was like the best of the best, right? So he lived just outside of Rio, I think it was. And in the 90s in Rio, this is when Brazil started kind of getting its reputation for being kind of dangerous, right?
Okay.
Because there was a bunch of like kidnappings. So like if you were anybody of the least bit significance, right, you usually had a target on you for being kidnapped. So because Romario was such a big football player, right, they kidnapped his dad. Like, they don't really know who kidnapped his dad, right? But his dad got kidnapped, right? And they put a ransom out there for $7 million, right? So they thought that it was going to be an easy payday, right? So Romario went on TV and said, if you don't release my dad, I am not going to play in the World Cup.
Oh, that's actually pretty sick.
and so it gets even better, right?
Everyone started looking for his dad. There was a huge search party.
not only that, but police, politicians, and then like the big drug cartel kingpin at the time put a hit out on those people that kidnapped Romario's dad.
That's so fucking badass.
Because he just said, he's like, I'm not going to play in the World Cup if you guys don't do this, right? So, what was it? Like 2-3 days later after that, they found his dad, right? And the kidnappers, I think they were found. How the story went is that an anonymous tip came in, and it was like 2 ladies that had kidnapped him. And so the ladies went to jail, and then Romario's dad was returned, right? And then Romario went to play in the World Cup, and I'm pretty sure they got really far in the World Cup, if not won in 94.
Huh. Man, dude, can you imagine if they fucking killed his dad before? Like he said that?
Right? Yeah.
Like, oh.
But here's kind of like the sad part of it, right? The guy that was leading the charge of finding.
Brazil won it in 94.
Yep.
Defeating Italy 3-2 in penalty shots. Yep.
That was like one of Italy's last times being in the World Cup, supposedly. So. Italy hasn't qualified, I guess, in a little bit. So all Italian fans are just now become Brazil World Cup fans because they're like, well,
2014 was the last time.
Mm-hmm.
I did hear though, because I was talking to this guy at work who's a big soccer guy, and he was saying how they do have to have it where like every continent is represented, and so not saying that there's only so many spots for Europe, but there are like the main spots that Europe gets, you know? And then the other ones have to qualify for it. So, like, Italy just is better than some of the teams that are in there, but, everyone's got.
You get weird fucking countries in there. Bosnia and Herzegovina, something. Dude, like two countries.
Spain just played a fucking neighborhood.
Yeah. Cape Verde.
Yeah. Like, excuse me?
Right. Yeah, you get all those, like, random ones, right?
And good for them for tying. Like, kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Them, and then Curacao, they're another island. And then, like, Haiti is in it. But then, like, you get all these, like, really random fucking Chechnya, you know? I was watching Chechnya. Now, my favorite story so far about the World Cup this year is the fellowship that's developed between Mexico and South Korea. So, who was it? It was Japan. It was either Japan or South Korea. I don't know. One of those two teams showed up in Mexico, and they gave them all cowboy hats. You know, welcome to Mexico, which I thought was really funny. But the South Koreans and like the Mexico fans, because I think South Korea played in Mexico first, they like just became friends immediately. And there's videos of like the South Koreans hanging out with all the Mexicans, like partying before and after games, you know?
That's so funny.
They've even turned some like animes into like what happens if Mexico and South Korea are the two finalists. You know, they do it like anime style,
just friends.
Yeah, but they see like videos of South Korean like spectators, civilians, right? Like crowd surfing with like the Mexico supporters. Yeah, dude, it's so funny.
Did you hear about the player that he got stopped for his visa, but it was in Canada? Like, Canada's not letting him play?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's somebody, because everyone's like, oh, fucking United States. Of course they'd be doing this. Like, no, that was...
yeah, it was Canada.
That was Canada.
It was one of Ghana's guys. Yep. They denied his visa. Well, there was a couple other ones. There was like the first ref out of Congo or something like that. South Africa, maybe. He was like the first referee that was going to be part of the World Cup from Africa, was also denied when he came through, even though like they kind of just left an open door for all like World Cup associated people, right, to come
Yeah.
into the country. They're like, nope, not you. Which is another reason why I think maybe it's rigged. You know? Yeah.
We'll never know, Michael.
We'll never
One of the
know.
world's greatest mysteries. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, especially after all the huge scandals that came out the NBA, like the past, I don't know, year or what. Like, who knows?
Yeah, I mean that Chinese. We got to look into that Chinese NBA scandal because I didn't realize that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I have it. No. It was 2003 to 2009.
Well, I was just reading one. I'm gonna have to dig into it, but there was like one recently, like back in 22, that there was like some big NBA scandal.
You know, honestly, I kind of want to dig into more of this Pony Express. I'm not gonna lie.
Me too. I think we should
Really
restart
interested
it.
in that.
One more quick thing,
Gosh,
and
you
then
could take that trail.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so much fun. You could actually do the Pony Express historical trail.
Really? That's sweet.
Yeah.
That would be an awesome vacation. That would be a summer vacation right there.
Oh my gosh.
One more thing, and then I think we should start the Midwest goodbye. But
What is it?
Carmelo Anthony is in
What
jail.
about him? What?
I had no idea Carmelo Anthony. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the same Carmelo Anthony.
No,
Is-
it's not, Michael.
It's not? Are
No,
we
it's
sure?
not. I'm positive.
Because I only know
It's a-
one Carmelo Anthony, and I don't know why Stephen A. Smith would weigh in on it.
Because there's more to just read about it.
Is it okay? So it's not. I thought it was the what? The ball player, right? There's a Carmelo Anthony ball player. I'm not going crazy, right?
You're 100% right. You're absolutely
Okay.
right. There is a oh my, I love you, Michael. You're adorable.
Just so innocent over here.
Yeah, just extremely innocent. It's a pretty big case.
Okay.
That's going on. That just happened, and there's two very opposing sides. And
Okay.
a lot of people are upset on both
But
sides.
it's not the ball player though, right?
Not even close. Not
Okay.
even close.
Okay. Well, that clears it up because I saw something about it. I was like, Carmelo Anthony, like the ball player, like he's going to fucking jail, you know. And I did no homework outside of that. I was hoping you could elaborate, and then we're all learning together, folks.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you about it a little later.
A different time. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we should start the Midwest goodbye.
Okay.
But would you rather do the Pony Express Trail or the Oregon the Oregon Trail? If you had to like spend a summer doing one or the other, which one would you pick?
You know, Michael, they're both pretty. Well, hold on. Well, the Oregon Trail, you get to pick your own kind of journey. This goes from, you have to go from St. Joseph, Missouri to Maryville, Kansas, Fort Kearney, Nebraska. Then you go to Julesburg, Colorado. Then you go to Fort Laramie, Wyoming, Salt Lake, Utah, which, by the way, I might sound like an idiot. I didn't realize Salt Lake was actually salt water. Did you know that? I just thought that was a fun name for it.
We are not smart, man.
I was just kind of like, hold on, you're telling me? I always just thought that every like in body of water, I just thought salt water was only in the ocean. I didn't think that there was actually
There's
like inland bodies of water that contained that much salt.
it's that
So you
one.
can't
and then
drink
there's-
Salt Lake. So you
Nope.
can't say like, oh, this tap water is amazing from Salt Lake.
Where's the other one? There's a big one in obviously Salt Lake.
Did you know
City.
that though?
I did. Yeah, I did know
For how long?
that. Pretty much the whole time, I think.
Really?
Yep. And then there's if that blows your mind, you should check out the Dead Sea.
The Dead Sea is weird where like you float,
You
all the
float
time.
because
Yeah.
it's so salty. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but the
salt
Dead Sea
content.
is at least connected to the ocean. I mean, I get that. See, that's my point. Mediterranean Sea also very salty.
Where does it connect to the ocean?
Dead Sea?
Yeah. No,
It doesn't connect?
It doesn't connect.
Well, it used to. Once upon a time, it used to. it's
all
obvious.
oceans did. Going back to Pangea, it was all one thing.
Yeah, it used to. At one point.
Yeah, I knew that Salt Lake City is famous for two things.
So how
salt
did it get there?
and Mormons. I don't know. I don't know how. Maybe it just stayed. Maybe it's above a large salt deposit.
Oh my gosh, you can't swim in the Dead Sea because it is nearly 10 times saltier than regular oceans.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't swim in there.
Yeah, I don't really feel like getting covered in a layer of salt, you know? Gross.
This is the most ridiculous Google search ever. How did salt get in Salt Lake?
I've Googled weirder shit before.
Natural cycle of mineral accumulation. Okay. So just kind of kept pulling it out of the ground.
Yep.
I just figured, being a Midwesterner, we have the Great Lakes, and all the lakes here are freshwater. I just figured every inland lake was fresh water.
Yep.
And then, of course, the Dead Sea connected to the ocean at one point.
Yep. When I spent a little time in upstate New York, one of the Finger Lakes, I think it's Cayuga. Mm-hmm. It was above a salt mine. It was like
that makes sense. Yeah, but so is Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan is above one of the biggest salt cavities in the world.
Really?
Lake Michigan is big salt state. No one knows that.
Big salt state.
A lot of salt.
big on salt. No pepper.
Big on salt.
What that?
A lot of salt.
But you could do a tour of the salt mines underneath that lake, and I was like, no, knowing there's a giant lake above me, like if this shit goes south, I'm not drowning in a salt mine. That's not how Michael goes out. But again, if you had to choose between the Pony Express Trail and the Oregon Trail, you had brochures for both.
Yeah. I'm looking looking at the looking at the Pony Express Trail. I'm gonna say Oregon, just because. I mean, you go from St. Joe, Missouri to Sacramento, and I don't want. Why would I want to end up in Sacramento? That doesn't sound fun.
Oh my God! I just found what I'm watching.
And then Freddy's Station, Nevada, like that just sounds like a pain in the ass. Or Friday Station, yeah,
sound it out.
It's white on tan, Michael. It's tough to read.
I know, I'm looking at the same map. I also didn't find
whoever decided on this UI is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's their first one. There's a movie on Tubi called The History of the Oregon Trail and the Pony Express, and I am definitely watching that. It sounds awesome. I could definitely get down on that.
Yeah, I think I'd do the Oregon Trail.
Yeah.
I think you go through Idaho. It looks a little more scenic.
Yeah. I think it would be a good group activity, the Oregon Trail. Get like 7 of your friends.
And right? I think it's a lot more rivers involved, so it makes it a little easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of salt rivers. Is there salt rivers?
I don't know.
Yeah, salt rivers exist.
Yeah, do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just never thought about that. You know, there is Salt River. There. I mean,
I never thought there was Salt Lakes either, but here we are.
I had no idea there was 2 Carmelo Anthonys. We're all learning something new today.
What a world we live in.
I guess there's rivers called salt rivers, but do they have salt in them?
Highly saline rivers include the Pecos River and the Salt River. Yeah.
Could you imagine, right? Like Pony Express in it. You know, you're out on horseback, you've been riding across the desert, and you spot the river. Oh God, hooray! Praise Jesus! We found water that, God damn it, there's salt in it again.
Do you think they knew that salt water was bad?
I don't know. There's a lot of crazy shit. I think it probably took them a long time to find out. I keep drinking this water, but I'm so thirsty, you know?
Maybe not. Maybe we've known about that for a while.
Now, can we take the salt out of Salt Lake and sell it? Can we boil it?
It's a great question.
Think? I remember hearing something Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about this. Why can't we just boil the ocean water to get salt? And he says that the return on investment is not worth the effort.
Does that work, though? I don't think you can just boil salt water and take the salt out. I don't think that works that way. I mean, you could do it with, like, this, lakes and that stuff.
I will say, a couple days after we record these episodes, I love going back and looking at my Google search history.
Yeah.
Can I boil salt water to get salt? Yes, you can. You can boil salt water. You got to use a lot of it, though, to get, like, any type of salt. Yeah.
Wait,
one cup of salt?
A lot?
1 cup of salt for 3 to 4 liters of water. That's actually a pretty good turnaround.
Wait, no, I'm talking about if you boil the salt water, does it take the salt out?
No. It leaves the salt. So you can boil off the water and keep the salt.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then you can drink the water?
Well, the water would evaporate because you boil it.
Yeah, but just because you boil water doesn't mean it all evaporates. So I'm saying in a survival situation, I have a pot. I put pot of salt water on. It comes to a boil. Take it off. Let it cool down. I take a sip of it. Am I hydrating or dehydrating myself at that point?
Well, I think if you boiled it at the point where I think you would have to use a strainer of like a T-shirt, pour it through the T-shirt to collect the salt onto one side, and then you get the clean water on the other side. I think if you did it that way, yeah, I think so.
No, I'm just looking at it now. You can't boil it. Kills bacteria, salt remains behind. No.
Oh, so it doesn't
Kill
work.
the bacteria, but the salt still saves.
Huh.
There is a crazy method, distillation. I don't know.
It's too sciencey for me.
You got to collect the water vapors. That sounds too hard.
Like
way
what,
too
my
hard.
hand? Like to hold my hands over it?
Or T-shirt, something.
Yeah. I mean, if I was Tom Hanks, right, Chuck Nolan, out on an island, I think I would probably spend a day trying to figure it out. It's not like I got nothing else to do.
True.
If I was like really bored, I
mean, shelter, water, then food.
right?
They say.
Yeah, I guess collect the rainwater. Some guys, I was reading into this story about this guy that was lost at sea for like 400 days. And he had survived by catching birds and drinking their blood. And that kept him hydrated. Yeah.
Fucking vampire.
Right. I mean, it was that or die, I guess.
Did you hear about the two guys that got stranded for like a couple of weeks? And people were like, were you guys scared? This was a couple of years ago. And they were like, were you guys scared? And he's like, actually, it was kind of a nice vacation.
Oh, I do remember hearing about that. Yeah, it was actually kind of a good day off.
Kind of nice.
I did hear something. So there was like one story. I can't remember how long ago it was, but this guy returned. He was stranded at sea for 400 plus days, but he got lost with like 4 dudes, and he was the only one that returned. And then he was sued by the family members of the 4 guys that died because they were under the assumption that he ate them to stay alive.
Did he come back fatter?
No, I don't think so. Well, because he claimed that he didn't. There was no evidence to support any type of like cannibalism that took place. But on reading through that, I also learned that kind of like back in the olden days, kind of like more merchant marines and like there's, more sea transit, right? Mm-hmm. That amongst the sailors, there was an unwritten agreement that if they were in a survival situation, being stranded out at sea, and if you died of like natural causes, right, or you were killed in some fashion, that you would be fine with your compatriots eating you if that meant them staying alive. Yeah, I guess it was like a real thing. Like they would all
kind of like being an organ donor, you know?
Right? Yeah, like here, if I go first,
Go for it.
you know. Now the rule was though is that you couldn't.
Bob, I bet you're going for my dick, aren't you? I know, you little cocksucker.
The rule was though is that you couldn't kill somebody to do that.
There, yeah.
It was
But
only
I'm
from-
dead. I get it.
Yep.
I think I would sign that. I'd be like, yeah, go for it.
Right? It's not like I would know the difference. You know,
I'm dead.
Oh,
Throw me in the trash. I'm dead.
right? use me to attract a shark and kill the shark. You know.
Something.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, I think I'm gonna try to find a horse and maybe a saddle and run this Pony Express.
I am going to try to figure out how to get the salt water for us to boil it and actually get this going, so we could use salt water throughout our trip.
We can make
When we get
salt.
to Salt Lake,
Yeah,
we're gonna need to refill.
I'm gonna get some T-shirts.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Common Professionals podcast. All music, content, and media used in this production are original creations and are owned by the Common Professionals.